Yeah, so you have any other queries regarding the activate methodology with the project deliverables?
Like, is it possible for you to give a small briefing about it? Just a small briefing, or we have to refer to that video only?
Okay.
Just a small briefing. Just
See this activate methodology. So we are implementing for SAP S4 HANA. So before S4 HANA, we are implementing ECC. So where we are using for ASAP methodology. Okay. So the deliverable is almost same, but only the phase. They have we are in S4 HANA we have different phases. So here first phase is a preparation phase. Okay. So preparation phase. So what we will do, so the senior most consultant, okay, so they are going to prepare the scope document here. Okay, so first they are going to understand about the customer, org structures, what are the entities which they are going to implement. So those kind of discussions will be there. So they are going to finalize the project organization structure, right? So after that then we have a kickoff meeting. So the kickoff meeting which conducted with the project management plus uh, customer, right? So who are the end user and their super user and super users. So they will. Someone wants to join this call. New Trent. I don't know who is this.
Maybe Gagan.
Okay. Yeah, Gagan. Hello, is this Gagan? I think someone joined. Yeah, may I know who is this New Trent Nightwear? Hello.
So it's me, Gagan.
Oh, Gagan. Oh, sorry. Okay, fine, fine.
Yeah.
So here, so there is a kickoff meeting. So this kickoff meeting is nothing but to introduce the teammates. Okay, teammates means like project management. The implementing company side, they have a project manager, they have a module wise consultant, and who is the delivery manager, and everything. And then the customer side, the client side, same thing. Customer client side also we have a project manager, and we have a business user for all the modules. So under the business user, who are the core team members, who is going to do the punching the transaction rights. So everything will be, so all the consultants will be have a meeting, right, regarding the projects. So then we are going to scope statements. The scope document will be discussed. Okay, the scope document means we have a discussion about their business process. So what are the what is the industry, and what are the procurement, what are the sales, what are the what type of productions they are going to do. Then, and what about the finance process and everything they are going to discuss, and they are going to prepare the scope document. Okay, so now the preparation phase we have completed already. So because this preparation phase will become, the business team, the business analysts, they are going to discuss with the customer and understand the business process. Okay, so but you should understand what we do in the preparation phase. And so once we completed the scope documents, then we will go for the BPML. Okay, so BPML stands for business process master list. So here so this BPML is going to identify the key business process about individual module, right? So here, based on the BPML process only, we are going to start the business blueprint. So after that, we are going to prepare conducting the RISE objects here. So so we are going to discuss how many above objects we are going to implement, we are going to develop. So let's say there is agreement between client and company. They have said that okay, so we are going to implement SAP is a greenfield. So we are going to accept 60 objects. Okay, these 60 objects we are not going to charge anything for that. If anything is more than 60, then you have to pay for that. So that is the the agreement. So here they are going to discuss about the above objects also, right? So what are the above objects? We are they are going to collect from the individual module business owner, right? So this is the discussion. So after that we have the Q gate. Okay, this is a project manager. He will check, verify all the deliverables being completed on preparation phase. If yes, so then they are going to close this phase. Okay, So then commercially they will raise the invoice and they are going to get the payment from the customer, right? So this is the preparation phase. And explore phase, so we are going to discuss about the business organization structure workshop. So here we are going to give a, so this is called like your fit gap analysis. Okay, so fit gap analysis means we are going to present their business process in a PowerPoint presentation. And so we are going to collect some information. It's a mutually, both of them say interactive sessions, and between the consultant as well as the business team. So we are going to explain about the process in SAP, how the process they have designed and everything. And this based on the unique process, right? So individual process we are going to explain. So the document also I will share you how we have to prepare the document. So based on the BPML you have to prepare the fit gap analysis document. Okay, so this fit gap analysis document, maximum 5 to 6 slides will be there for one process. And you have to you have to prepare this document, then you have to present to the customer. And if there is any kind of gap is there, so you have to note down those kind of changes. So then we have a business blueprint. So we have to start the business blueprint based on the fit gap analysis and the scope of the document. So that is the next deliverable. So then we have to list out the gap documents. If there is any kind of gap, any kind of gap is there, so then that we need to identify in our RISE objects. Okay, the gap either you can able to identify it, you can develop with different type of programs, right? So you can do enhancements, or you can do some kind of module pull program, or you can do some kind of reports, or you can do some kind of interfaces, right? So anything. So these gaps. And plus your daily reports, like they are daily they are going to do creating the purchase order, daily they are creating the sales order, daily they are creating the production order, so daily they are creating the check, right? So these are all kind of daily reports, right? Even though it's a smart form, it's a printout, but they will call as a daily activity report. So we need to identify what all the forms, what all the reports, what all the enhancements, what all the workflow. So these are all the above objects also we need to be identified. So then there is a data migration approach. Okay, so what is data migration approach? So how just a discussion about we have to give some kind of presentation. So what is data migration approach, and what all the master data we are going to upload, right? So and what is a tool? So internally you have to discuss with the technical consultant. So what is the tool we are going to upload for our master data, right? So we have different master data, different transaction data. So all the programs, all the data, master data or transaction data, maybe some master data they will be uploading one tool, and even transaction data will be uploading different tool. So these are all internally you have to discuss, and based on that you have to prepare the template, right? So then you have to discuss with customer also. So this is a one of the sessions you have to conduct to the customer. So then we have a master data migration program and process, right? So we have to conclude that let's say master data like material master I'm going to upload through our LTMC, or customer master I'm going to upload through LTMC, or even production maybe bill of material router I'm going to upload through BDC program with help of ABAP. So this is the kind of see, end of the day functional consultant job is just preparing the master data template. Then you have to get the data from customer. Okay, so then we have to connect with the technical consultant to develop the BDC programs, right? So then we have the finalizing the master data templates here. So we need to finalize the master data template. Again we have to present to the customer, and you have to make sure what all the field by field we have to explain why this field, and then they will download the data from their server, and they are going to validate, and they are going to give you in your form. So the next one is authorization roles and assignments. Okay, this authorization role is like the end user, right? Who is going to perform the transaction, who is going to create the master data, who is going to approve the purchase order, or who is going to create the sales order, right? So they are who is going to create a accounts payable process, who is going to create a accounts receivable process, or who is going to do the production process, right? So based on the role, so you have to identify. And each module there are multiple sub department or multiple team they are going to perform the activity, right? So we need to create a authorization roles for individual department, right? Sub department level. So for example, master data will be one person, one team, and so your production will be performed by another team, and the goods will be taken care of by, maybe issue will be taking care one person, one team, and finally they are confirming their production order, right? So the final products they are confirmed and kept it in a finished goods storage location will be done by another team. So individually we need to create a roles and authorization. So that is the, so anyway, we will discuss about the roles and authorization session. So then we have a detailed test planning. Okay, detailed test planning. So we have to discuss about how the testings we are going to conduct, right? So we have a three different type of testing. So you have to prepare testing documents here actually, right? One second. Okay, so this is a discussion about our test planning, right? So we knows about unit testing and integration testing and user acceptance testing. So in our project currently we have a I think all the module almost MMSD FIPP. So the current project I think luckily we have all the four modules, right? So on previous project we deal with only two modules, but here we are dealing four modules now. So now I think everyone will get clarity or idea about our integration testing, right? So generally integration testing will be done by the cross module consultant, so whereas the unit testing will be done by individual module consultant, right? So what is unit testing? So we have the already we identified the BPML process, right? So what is our org structure, what are the master data, what are the P2P process, right? So what are the inventory management process, everything we identified. So individual process by process we have to do the testing, right? So here only the individual module consultant will be doing this testing, but whereas it's a integration testing, it will be done by the cross module consultant. So how they will start the process, right? So whereas if they will take one process, right? So let's say if it is a make to order process, or if it is a make to stock process, or if it is a maintenance planned maintenance order procurement, or if it is a project specific procurements, like whatever the process, right? So this is called as the integration process, because the process actually start with different module, right? So maybe the process will be start with sales and distribution, or maybe the process will be start from project system, or maybe the process will be start from plant maintenance module, or maybe the process will be start with our internal cost center or something, right? So here so we will be uh, you know so the integration testing will be done from the specific process, right? So this process belongs to make to order. So start with customer, right? So what they will do, they will create the make to order, I mean they will create a sales order for the specific material. So customer then, so before that they will, the customer, I mean their customer will be inquired for specific products, right? So then they will give the quotation, then they will accept it, then they will create the production orders, right? So I mean they will create the sales order. So then it will goes to the production team, then they will prepare the bill of material. So this everything will be done. See, once the quotation is accepted, then they will start bill of material, everything. So costing wise everything they will, I think this is one of the before they are going to give the quotation, this will be performed, R&D team, they will perform everything. They will check what is the cost and what all the material is involved in, everything they will verify. So then only the quotation will goes to the customer, then customer is accepted, then sales order will be created. So now everything will be there in your system, right? So all the master data, bill of material, work center, routing, so all the operations will be done from the PPT. So now once the sales order is created, next what they will do, they will run the MRP, right? So production team, they are going to run the MRP with reference to sales order. So based on the bill of material, even whatever the component which they have included, so system will generate the material requirement planning. So here now it's an integration, right? So now purchase requisition will be created from will be created, plus plant order will be created. Plant order means before production order, like how purchase order, before purchase order we have purchase requisition, same way like how before sales order, how that inquiry we are generating, same way in production order also we have a planned order, right? So it's an internal order, right? So this will be internal order, and this planned order will be generated, and for the finished products, right? So only for the finished products, and the purchase requisition will be generated for the raw material. Okay, so when the purchase requisition will be generated, when there is a stock is not available, when there is a shortage of the stock, then purchase requisition will be created, correct? So then um, yeah, so after MRP executed, then purchase team, they are going to procure the material, they are going to, there is approval process, right? So once they are approved, so these are all the configurations, as a consultant they have to do that, right? So that is what the configuration, everything, correct? So here then once they have completed, approval process, then there is inventory, they are going to receive the material, so then they are going to issue the material to the production. So why I'm telling this all the process, this is called integration testing, right? So integration testing, so you should know that as a consultant we should know how it is works, even though it's a different module. PP said if it's a different module, but we should understand what is planned order, why MRP is running, so why they are purchase requisition generating, what is planned order, when we have to issue the material. So these are all it's integrations, right? So that is what I'm telling. So this project have a good opportunity to learn all the integration process. Okay, so the test planning, everything we are going to perform actually, right? So then there is a Q gate process, right? So next we'll go for the realization phase. Okay, realization phase is what, where we do all the configuration, and the testings, everything will be there in the realization phase. Okay, so here we are going to start the RISE objects. Okay, so RISE objects, what we need to do, the functional consultant and technical consultant, kind of deliverables, right? So we identified what are the RISE object which we are going to develop, correct? So based on that we are going to start developing the functional specification, right? Okay, what is functional specification? And this functional specification is nothing but where we do you know the logic of your program. Okay, for example, so we already discussed about forms, reports, enhancements, or everything. So let's say we are developing one smart forms, right? So this smart form is belongs to the sales order. So now we need to develop, let's say in sales order there are different type of sales order they have, but we need to make sure first whether are we going to develop the unique common form, or whether based on the process we are going to design the different form. So that is again that is a functional consultant, they have to understand, maybe they have a different layout, then obviously we have to go for different forms for the sales order based on the process, right? Same thing for purchase order also, right? And mm, yeah, so now we should understand how to develop the functional specification. So before that we should know what all the tables are there, how to execute the tables, how to return the logic, right? So everything we have to understand, in the functional specifications. So once you prepare the functional specification, then you have to communicate to the technical consultant. Once they agreed, maybe if there is any changes, again you have to do that, then you have to revert back to technical consultant, and they will do the technical specification. Once it's completed, then they will start the development. Okay, so here development of user interfaces, yeah, this is few related we will discuss. And legacy data migrations. Okay, so here just for testing purpose we have to upload the master data. So you will not be, during this phase you will not be getting all the data. So because customer will share, already you share the template, then they will feed the data, maybe 25 to 50% data you will be getting, so you can upload for testing, right? So that's a legacy data migrations. Then we have a configuration document. Okay, so once you've done the configuration, then we have to prepare the configuration document. So this configuration document is nothing but, so how to create the org structure, right? So let's say for MM, SD, FI, PP are there, so how you are creating the org structure, what are the company code, what is the plant, right? So module wise you have to prepare it. Okay, so if it is a FICO, then we have to prepare for start with company code, right? Credit control area, charta book on physical year variant, right? So all the things you have to prepare it. Then GL master, account group settings, right? So everything we have to prepare it here. Okay, so then we have to yeah, so then we need to same thing like SD module, also start with your org structure, creating the sales organization, distribution channel, divisions, right? Sales office, sales group, right? Then master data point of view, how the customer account BP group you created, how the number range you assigned, how the customer account group you created, how the number range you assigned, then how the so then we have to master data So all the yeah, so master data point of view, like customer info record and condition record. Then how the O2C process start with your inquiry, quotations, right? Contract and scheduling agreement and sales order. So all the process wise you have to prepare it, right? So the configuration document, what are the document type, what are the number ranges, right? So everything you need to discuss. Okay, so configuration document we need to prepare. Then we have master data objects. So now the data readiness in our testing system. So because now the testing systems we have to make sure all the configuration is ready, right? So because here in realization, see generally for yeah, so in our ASAP methodology, configuration will be in one phase, and there is a testing will be another phase, whereas in our SAP S4 HANA the realization phase we have both, right? So configuration plus testing. So here we need to make sure your data readiness in your testing environment, which means whether you done all the configuration, whether move to your quality system, and whether you have uploaded the required master data to do the testing, right? So this is data readiness in testing system. Then authorization roles and assignments. Okay, so what is authorization roles assignments? So already we discussed, right? So authorization roles and assignment in the sense, so individual end user, right, or business user wise we have to assign the role. So then only they can able to perform their activity with the respective transactions, right? So we should not give all the access, all the transaction codes to do the transaction, right? So individual user wise, let's say if it is belongs to only the creating the production team, then only the production related activities transaction we need to provide. Okay, so that we need to check here in quality system. Some system they will get some error, actually it's going some system will, there is a authorization issue will be coming. So everything, the base again the base system will come into the picture. So they will rectify if there is any object is missing, then back end they will do the settings, right? So authorization settings, assignments, everything they will do, then make the transaction is to perform. So training material readiness. Training material readiness means where so once you've done all the configuration everything. So now so I already discussed about 3 levels of testing, right? So unit testing will be done by our individual consultant with the individual module, and integration testing will be cross module, and there is a user acceptance. So now we are going to talk about user acceptance testing. Okay, so user acceptance testing means that's a UAT. So this is one of the key deliverable actually, right? So so we need to get the signature from the individual department or individual business team. So then only we'll think about the go live, right? So here if there is any kind of issue, or mostly they will be stuck up here actually, right? So what is the problem is so they might not uh, you know uh, so their requirement, let's say they have more customized reports or forms or process wise, and the cross modules, maybe the let's say for real estate is one of the module, they might not be done, if they have any issue it will be reflected into the let's say for some process we couldn't able to identify, then it will be a bug. So bug means it will be an issue. So again so this kind of UAT will not be completed. So even client or customer also will say that no, this process are pending, right? So that is what. So this is one of the key deliverables. So we need to, that's what all the cross module should be zinc, and they have to be based on the business process we have to be tested, and then only your customer also will be agreed or will put a signature for the UAT, right? So cutover plan. So this is again already we discussed, right? So uploading your master data, uploading your open transaction, like your, if it is a MO model like a open purchase order, let's say till today they have a 10,000 purchase orders are there. So then they will see, so this purchase order is created between how many years. So they will say that okay, you take it only for last 1 year purchase order, you keep it you no need to upload. Then they will take all the pending purchase orders. So then, so that's what we already have a template and everything we given to them. Then they will feed the data, then again you have to start upload, right? So that cutover activities plan you have to discuss. So this is again so when we are going to upload our master data, and how many days we are going to take it for that. So everything we are going to plan it, right? So that is the cutover activities plan. So then we have a test results. So test results means or UAT process testing. So once all that process has been tested and completed, so then we have to get the signature, then we have to communicate to our project management team. Okay, and test execution. So integration test and even for user acceptance test. So all the three different type of testings we are going to complete it in this phase. Okay, so then we have the Q gate. So again it will be project management activity. So once we done all the testing and everything, then we have a deployment. Okay, so so here in deploy phase actually, so now we are going to upload all the master data, right? So this is the final cutover plan. So this final cutover plan, so we are going to so the perform cutover mock rehearsal. So which means so we are so there is a before, yeah. So I think you understand the the landscape of SAP. So we have three different box: development, quality, and production. So every client, there is a multiple clients will be there, right? So for let's say for development server we have a golden development, then there is a testing development, and there is a above development. Okay, so in golden development, which is nothing but where we do all the configuration, and testing development where we do all the testing of your process, and in the above development where above they used to do all the above codings, everything will be written in the client. So this is one server. Okay, so now quality server we have another two different clients. So one is for one is for user acceptance testing and another client for integration testing. Okay, it's a consultant, they will do the testing, right? So there are two clients again, and in the production server we have again these are all company to company, it will vary, but generally you should general terms you should know that. Okay, in production we have a two different client. One is pre-project, another one is production. Sorry, one is pre-production, another one is production. Pre-production means so we are, that's what where we do all the kind of so before going to do go live in the production system, so this is the rehearsal so system, so where we do all the kind of uploading master data and everything. If everything's fine, then so they will upload again into the production system. Okay, so this is the landscape actually, but again we will see these activities. So then we have a master data migrations, right? So uploading all the master data, then production cutover, opening balance, transaction data here, right? So this is like your so all the opening balance, like your customer balance, vendor balance, right, and asset balance. So everything we need to be uploaded. So then there is a end user training here, so we have to execute it. So then pre-go live check activity. Okay, SAP pre-go live check. So we need to make sure whether in production system now. So we are in the production system now. So we have to make sure whether so we all the configuration is moved perfectly, or whether your all the master data what we have uploaded it is correct. So customer is giving this many material, for example material, let's say there are 60 materials, maybe they might be shared 2 times 3 times they share the same material. So there is a kind of some material might not be uploaded. So these are all the big issue, because even though single material we should not miss out, right? So we need to make sure whether all the material which individual material type wise everything we have uploaded, or if anything is missing, again we have to cross verify that, right? So these are all big activity, right? Same thing like a customer, or same thing like your GL master, or everything. Okay, so now there is a pre-go live check, everything is it's fine. Then Qgate check, it's a project management activity. So now there is a run phase. Okay, run phase is nothing but where we do the go live activities. Okay, so now so we are going to perform the go live, so in the sense where the customer they are going to perform their transaction in our SAP system. Okay, so here, so from the day one, so they will give 30 days production support, right? So this production support will be facing some issues, right? So anyway, for example, some transaction will not be working, or some printouts will not be working, or some reports will not be working. So now whatever issue is coming from as a consultant we have to rectify that. Okay, so that will be is a go live and support activities. Okay, so here then Okay, so here configuration document, technical and functional specification document, user manual document we need to hand over to the customer, right? So then final phase is closed, then we will receive the every phase wise they have a split. This is a milestone billing. Milestone billing means phase by phase they have a percentage of cost, right? So let's say if it is a 1 crore project, so they will fix it 10% for preparation phase, 30% for your um, blueprint phase, right? So like that they will segregate. Okay, this is again project PMO team, they will take care of that, right? Okay, so this is what our milestone, activate methodology. So I think if anybody have any other query, yeah, then we will go to next process. So what I'm expecting, so this we need to prepare one document. Okay, because in you are during the interview, so you are going to talk about this, right? So for example, you are going to introduce about yourself to the HR team or maybe technical team. So I'm completed my implementation project with following deliverables. So this is my roles and responsibility, right? So what is your roles and responsibility in implementation projects, and what are all the customization you have done, right? So that is what every phase we have given. So first you have to understand what is this phase and what is this deliverable for what purpose. So everything you should know that. So now you have to prepare one documentation in Word document, right? So whatever I explained, you can once again you can go through the video, then you can prepare the one documentation, right? So this is also you need to deliver maybe Monday, so we will connect. So please prepare this activate methodology deliverable documents. Okay, so every phase by phase you will just prepare that. Now you can ask me any other queries here.
Sir, how much time taken to implement one project?
See, again based on the client actually. Suppose they have multiple entities, right, and the team size and everything based on that. But minimum 8 months and maximum 1.5 years. Average.
Dhanush, I have this doubt. So in this S4 HANA implementation, we have this on-premise and cloud. So this difference now, what we are going to go ahead is with this on-premise, or what kind of this thing it is?
Yeah, see on premises. See nowadays cloud also is there actually, but we are going to implement in on premises. But cloud is actually little different actually, right? So in on premises we can able to customize based on the customer requirement. So that is the reason 90% people they are going for on premises. Suppose if you want to develop any reports, or if you want to design any kind of any enhancement or something if you want to do, so on premises we can do that. If it is in a cloud, so you cannot do that. So this is completely standard. So whatever SAP they are releasing every month, they are going to release some reports or something. You can able to access only those kind of standard SAP provider transactions. If you want to request some customization, they will not agree that.
So initially the best practices. So what are the scope items in the best practices? That is only we are going to display to the client, right? In the initial stage, we'll be explaining them the best practices or how it is, because there are a lot of scope items in the best practices. So in the initial stage, we'll be, when we are interacting with the client, like we'll be explaining the best practices method, right? We'll be showing them all the scope items and all.
See that is called fit gap analysis. So we are going to provide our SAP best practices there. So based on that, some 90% customer they will agree our SAP best practices, but some of them they want to they want to customize, right, as per their current process. Maybe they are following certain process with their own way, but standard SAP is not supporting. So in this case, we need to that's a fit gap, and the session we will discuss it. So you will be understand, okay, whether we need to go for customization or whether customer is agreed our SAP best practices. So that is a play discussion. We will understand that, right?
What is this waterfall and agile methodology? I often hear this terminologies, waterfall and agile methods.
See, that all different actually. In SAP, we are not using actually. That is non-SAP software they are using actually.
Okay.
But
Okay.
when it comes to SAP, we have two different methodologies. One is ASAP, another one is Activate.
Okay.
Okay, so any other question regarding our activate methodology? Swati, Divya, any other queries? So whether you can
No,
able to,
Guruji.
yeah, you can able to prepare the document. Can I expect Monday? We can expect. So whatever I have explained, you just you have to say
Yes,
you have
Dharsh,
to write down.
yes.
That's it. Yeah, because for interview point of view, you have to speak. That's what you should not. Maybe I explain now. Today I have explained, but definitely you'll forget, right? So you have to prepare and keep this document with you, and it will helpful for the interview point of view. You can explain. So what is this phase? What you have delivered, right? So everything you can, because this is itself you have to explain minimum 20 minutes to them. So then only they will accept. Okay, you in implementation project. Okay, these are all the activity you have performed like that. You can. They will agree. Hmm? Okay. So this is so next we will discuss about scope documents. Okay. So now we are going to implement our SAP project for Jacob's constructions. Okay. So here we have given for the scope document actually. So for all the module we have a scope document, right? So I will share this document. You just go through that, and so based on this scope
Yes,
document,
he will join. Okay.
no, I don't think so.
So, sir, in short, like we have to write down a summary of what you have explained today.
No, so that activate methodology I'm expecting. Yeah, so that activate methodology, each deliverable, phase by phase, what are the deliverables that you have to make one bad document. Hmm?
Okay, okay, sir.
You mean like the same Excel sheet what you have presented, the same format?
No, you preparing one bad document. We
Okay.
have already our template, right? So that same template you just prepare it.
Okay. So where we can get the template? We can get the template. We haven't seen the template yet.
Okay, so I will share the template. Huh?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sir, Tanush sir.
So fit gap analysis. So this is based on your scope documents. So you have to go for the fit gap analysis. I will have one sample document. Okay. So now you can able to prepare this document. So this is one of the sample document. So they are explain about stock procurement process. Okay, stock procurement process. So they are explain about the stock procurement. What is the process? So purchase requisition is generating via the material requirement planning. So buyer validate the accuracy of the purchase requisition, convert. Okay. So like that you just give the process description. Okay. So no need to worry about that. So if it is a process, everything is there. If you want some content, yes, you can search in Google also. Or if you understand the process, you can write down your own, content. Okay. So they explain about the process here, and here this is like your business. Here you have to put your your business flow diagram. Okay. So this business flow diagram only you are going to put it in your business blueprint, right? So this is more important. So during this phase we have to prepare the business flow diagram. So while doing the business blueprint you can use the same business flow diagram, otherwise again you have to redesign all the business flow diagrams. So then, yeah, so this is like our process actually. So what is the process, right? So here we are going to say that the MRP run, and who is going to do the MRP run. So then purchase requisition process, approval process, RFQ, quotation process, comparison. So this is like your process you have to explain. Okay, if it is a PP, then you have to mention about your MRP process. Then after that, your planned planned order creation process. So then we have a production order creation, goods issue process, then settlement. So then you have to specify your process steps here. Okay, and who is going to perform, that is more important. So that is that is a role actually, right? So this role, how you can able to get it? So already we have seen in our SAP here. So role is nothing but this is the role. Okay, so PP said also you please go through that process, then you will come to know the roles. Okay, who is going to production supervisor, production controller, right? So like that we have different role for PP. So already I shown the website link also, rapid.sap.com. so here you can able to go for PP side we can able to see manufacturing, production planning, production engineering, manufacturing, operation, production planning, quality management. Let's say production planning, make to order, production, finished goods sales and final assembly. So everything they have here also they explain about your business benefit, key process flow, right? Key process flow means so plan, production order, make to order scenario optionally with the sales order, bill of material. So here now sales role is coming, then execute the production order. So MRP coming, after MRP exit process, then we are going to create the production order. So the improve will be the confirmation of production operation, use bill plan including down payment. Okay, so this is the key process flow they have explained. So next there is a business process flow diagrams. Okay, so here you will come to know the role. Okay, so there is a internal sales representative. Okay, what they do, internal sales representative. So this is completely your SD process. Okay, so but still you have to include because this is integration, right? So you have to mention they create and send the sales quotation in customer, right? So first customer is given inquiry, then they are going to give the quotation, then sales, change sales quotation if it is required, create sales order. Okay, so after that here sales quotation, then create the sales order. Otherwise directly they are going to send the create sales order, right? So then there is a create down payment if it is applicable. So who is going to create a down payment? Again it's a billing clerk. Okay, so again SD side also you should understand the role actually, who is creating sales order, who is creating delivery, who is creating invoice. So everything they given us a different role they have given in SAP S4HANA they have given. So please go through the flow diagrams from rapid rapid.sap.com. so this sites you will get all the information. Okay, so based on this you have to specify the role here, right? Salim.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, so that's it. So here this nothing is complex. So the next one is like okay, so here you have to specify the transactions. Okay, here already we mentioned. So same thing we are giving here also. Okay, so MM side what they do and CO side what they do, QM what they do. So if it is integration, right, you have to specify. So first is SD, so what SD they do, then what PP, then what MM, right? So finally what FI they are going to do that. So controlling the is coming into the PP, right? So what controlling they are going to do that. Okay, so just go through that rapid.sap.com, you will understand that process wise what is the role and everything you will understand. Okay, so this is called the fit gap analysis. So you have to prepare the fit gap analysis, right? And you have to give a presentation. So now from Monday onwards, next 1 week, so we are going to focus on our fit gap analysis, right? So once our fit gap analysis is ready, so then we will go for our BPML, then we will go for business blueprint. Okay, so business blueprint is a more crucial, so we have to focus on that. And along with this project deliverables, you have to focus on pre-project deliverables. Okay, so now I have given one more assignment, that is for activate methodology deliverables. Okay, so that document also you have to prepare it. So I will share you this sample document, and please go through that our scope document first, and based on that we have to prepare the fit gap analysis. So you have to understand the list of process now. Okay, you have the scope, based on the scope you have to prepare the fit gap analysis, and all the process, right? So all the process you have to first you have to make it in an Excel sheet, right? What all the process, right? Maybe org structure you can leave it, and material master data also you can leave it, but process you take it. Okay, take the process and present in your PowerPoint presentation, and then you have to present from Monday onwards. You have to plan the fit gap analysis workshop. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we are almost end of the session. So maybe if you have any other query, so we can ask now.